Okay, we are back. We're on day 8. Love is not jealous. The scripture for today is Song of Solomon 8:6. Love is as strong as death, its jealousy unyielding as the grave. It burns like blazing fire. And I remember when I originally went through day 8, I am not generally a jealous person by nature, uh, which is probably because I'm too busy comparing my weaknesses to someone else's strengths and thinking, well, if I were only better, it's not that they don't deserve that or I want what they have. I would beat myself up for not being good enough. And so, when I say that I don't struggle with jealousy, there are plenty of things to take its place. But, and the authors on day 8 made a really profound statement to me that I don't know that I really thought about before, is that there are two types of jealousy: legitimate and illegitimate. And that legitimate jealousy sparks when someone you love who belongs to you turns his or her away and replaces you with someone else. And I experienced that in my marriage. And again, maybe I was jealous and I just buried that under a heap of other things. But when I read this, I thought, oh my gosh, what things have I placed before God? And that again, that we've read in Scripture that the Lord your God is a consuming fire, a jealous God, and that He's not envious of what we have, because duh, He created everything. But He is jealous in a sense that when we turn our hearts from Him, it's painful to Him. And so maybe if we look at it in that perspective of pain, a jealous pain, maybe that makes a little more sense. But the authors, wrote, how God deeply longs for us, designed for us to keep Him as our first love, and that He doesn't want us to let anything take precedence over Him in our hearts. But I wonder, how often do we do that? We get consumed with the busyness of life, and whether intentionally or not, we allow things to come before Him. And so, the fact that, God is jealous for us to keep Him first in our hearts, not just that He wants us to have a relationship with us. He wants us to have Him as our number one. And, and all too often in today's culture, it could be He can be put in second, third, fourth place before we even realize what we've done. And it does talk about, the illegitimate types of jealousy of, which it doesn't happen with a particular stranger. It happens with someone that is in your circle of influence, whether it's a coworker, a friend, a family member. But to not allow jealousy or bitterness to creep into those relationships. And, and again, it talks about love being that action verb of, it is not selfish, and it puts others first, and it refuses to let jealousy come in. And does not compare. Yeah, they put that on there. Does not compare itself to another's success. So this is going to be a short video today. When I thought about that, and as I was reading the scripture for today from Song of Solomon, it burns like blazing fire. And, and I thought about it, it's like, oh my gosh, am I God's biggest fan ever? Is my love for him like a blazing fire? And, I want it to be, but I'm human, and that's something that I can strive for. And so again, here I sit, and it's always where my mind goes, which is unfortunate, but I'm thinking, well, if I could just love God more, if I could just do this more, and so and again, that appreciation or depreciation room that we just talked about, I need to get into that appreciation room and not thinking about what I didn't do, but what I can do through God. So through this day, it's not about, am I giving 100%? It's about, am I giving the very best that I have at this particular moment? And, that picture can look different, 24 hours a day, however many minutes are in a day. I don't know that number, but you know what I'm talking about, is that it changes minute to minute. And, and there may be minutes, hours, and days when you just don't have much to give, but if it's still your best, then that is 100%. So I would encourage you, if there are others out there that tend to go the Salida route of the comparison thing, then think about it that way. So for today's Think Right Pray, the dare was to become your spouse's biggest fan, and that's what I talked about before in my discussion, that am I going to be God's biggest fan today, and to reject any thoughts of jealousy, meaning letting anything take God's place. So I am so sorry, this oxygen makes me yucky, but it's important. So, anyway, so for the think today, to think about the 2 lists that you made from yesterday, and then on your positive list, are these things done on your own volition, or has your success been the result of God and others helping along the way? And then to write down an accomplishment and the people involved in helping you to reach that particular goal. And how did you thank them? How did you show that appreciation? So when you pray, thank God for the skills, desire, etc., leading to recent success. Lift up those who were instrumental, and close by asking God to fuel the fire of your relationship with Him in such a way that it naturally flows into other relationships. And to finally thank Him for the power of Jesus to bring the list of negatives to the front of the cross. Oh, not the front, the butt of the cross. I already said that yesterday. So anyway, so this was short, and I will take another break and be back with the third video for this week. Love makes good impressions. See you soon.